Why don't you put on a mask, boss? I'm going to eat noodles. What do you mean? Why don't you wear a mask? I'm going to eat noodles. I just took off my mask just now. According to the rules, you need to wear a mask. I'm going to eat. So do I have to wear a mask when eating? You have to wear a mask when you aren't eating, and when you eat. Ha 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 ha. You're all possessed, bewitched. You're driving the people crazy. Do you know that? You're all possessed, obsessed. You're like demons, devils. Oh my gosh. You're all crazy, crazy. Nearly 3 years into the COVID-19 pandemic, the vast majority of countries have moved away from an epidemic prevention and control model of strict lockdown to advocating coexistence with the virus. In contrast, the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, has become an odd entity by engaging in zero-COVID prevention. What the Chinese public has been told by their government is that the epidemic is still very serious. Chinese authorities have declared that many parts of Beijing and Shanghai have been escalated to high and medium risk zones upon entering into October.
The entire district has been divided into medium risk zones and some high risk zones. Residents and friends, please comply with the prevention and control policy strictly. People in high risk zones don't leave homes. People in medium risk zones don't leave residential buildings. Walking outside is absolutely forbidden. During the lockdown period, nucleic acid test staff will come to each household for testing.
Due to positive cases in several places in Heilongjiang, Inner Mongolia, and Shanxi in the north, local authorities have imposed citywide lockdown measures. Several areas, such as Sichuan Province and Shenzhen, which were previously hit by the outbreak, are still under lockdown. Wearing a mask has become an indispensable part of Chinese people's lives for 3 years. In contrast, on the eve of October 1st, China's National Day and the anniversary of the communist regime, the top brass of the Communist Party, led by party leader Xi Jinping, turned out in full force on September 30th to lay flowers at the so-called monument to the people's heroes in Tiananmen Square. As seen in the video, hundreds of participants from all walks of life who attended the ceremony didn't wear masks. In addition, on the evening of September 30th, the Chinese State Council held a reception at the Great Hall of the People. It was attended by the 7 standing committees of the CCP Central Committee, plus other representatives of the party, government, military, and civil society, and foreign guests, totaling 500 people. No one in the banquet hall wore masks. While leaders in epidemic-stricken Beijing are allowed to attend a banquet of 500 people, common folks aren't allowed to have dine-in meals according to government regulations. This is the current scene in Tianjin, where people are eating breakfast in front of a restaurant. Many foreign media have noted this detail of wearing no masks by senior CCP officials. Some analysts therefore speculate that this may be a sign that the authorities will relax their zero-COVID policy. On overseas Chinese websites, many netizens made similar comments. Folks are arrested for not following the rules and not wearing masks, but the officials gathered by the hundreds without masks. Double standard? Does anyone dare to charge them? Look, this man was getting fresh air under his apartment building. Immediately, he was found by community anti-epidemic workers and then held down to the ground, presumably to enforce the wearing of a mask. According to the communist authorities, including Beijing's epidemic prevention regulations, there should be no crowding, no gathering. Indoors, especially for conference attendees, all attendees are required to wear masks, except for speakers on the podium of large conferences. Situations where masks can be dispensed with include at home, outdoors, and in more fixed workplaces with staff who don't work with outbound services. According to communist experts, masks are effective in protecting against viruses. The official media haven't explained why the Communist Party's top brass are allowed to disregard these norms they set for protection against the virus. Previously, on occasions not led by Xi Jinping, senior Communist Party officials were careful to wear masks on international occasions. This is, first of all, in line with Xi's zero-COVID policy. Secondly, the videos are anticipated to be broadcast domestically and be seen by Chinese people. Therefore, on the political issue of wearing masks, the CCP officials are cautious not to make mistakes. For example, on September 19th, the state funeral of Queen Elizabeth II was attended by about 2,000 guests, including 500 dignitaries and members of the royal family from around the world, none of whom wore masks. However, the Chinese Vice President Wang Qishan and his entourage all wore masks. Instead of the usual black masks used at funerals, they wore white masks with the Chinese flag on them, which made them particularly noticeable. It is obvious that the CCP delegates themselves sensed the strangeness, and they looked nervous and uneasy. Prior to this, the Hong Kong Education Bureau shot a promotional video to celebrate the October 1st holiday. The audience can see the two girls in the video actually wearing masks while playing the flute. On August 25, 2022, the Chinese women's volleyball team was also asked by its leaders to wear masks on the field when they competed overseas. Such a style might have stunned the audience overseas and also the domestic fans. The topic of the Chinese women's volleyball team all wear masks for the competition has been read more than 15 million times on Weibo, with negative comments accounting for most of them. They have forwarded doctors' statements to the leaders, which read, "Wearing masks for strenuous exercise will increase the resistance of the respiratory tract and affect the oxygen supply and cause damage to the lungs and possibly even the whole body." In 3 years of CCP propaganda, wearing a mask has become common sense in life, and people who don't wear masks are problematic. On this high-speed train, 2 girls removed their masks to eat and were chided by male passengers.
戴着口罩吃东西，说了一遍还吃，怎么你没说？你为什么要吃东西？我问你。你说你的目的是什么？
吃东西就是黑暗，我吃东西的目的，他居然问我吃东西的目的是什么？10
点40的车，你为什么不能提前吃？
This is the month of September. A city administrator somewhere asked night market diners to wear masks while eating, and thus started a verbal argument. The diners asked, "Do you wear a mask when you eat?" The city administrator then demonstrated how to wear a mask to eat. Indeed, wearing a mask to eat might not be an impossible task in China. See, even elementary school students can do it. Although we can't find any public reaction online at the moment regarding the CCP leaders not wearing masks, we can assume that many Chinese people are confused and angry, but also somewhat excited about it. They hope that the masks will be removed sooner rather than later. On October 2nd, an article suddenly went viral on a mainland Chinese website. The title of the article was, "Take off your mask, be an upright Chinese." The article was published by China's official media, People's Daily, in August 2019, when the Hong Kong government banned people from using objects to cover their faces during rallies and marches. The article itself has nothing to do with the outbreak. However, the popularity of this article now shows the sentiments of those who shared it, that they are passive against the outbreak, fighting for their rights, rallying against government controls, and preserving their dignity. As of when this episode is being published, the article hasn't been removed from WeChat's sharing function. Only the comments and updates have been disabled, with the message "Inappropriate comments have been filtered. Some comments are not displayed." When Chinese people will be allowed to go without masks is not yet known. The person who posted the video at the beginning of the show is now in trouble. An anonymous source has threatened the blogger. I'd like to know what was on your mind. Who are you? Should you be in charge of this? Do you have control over it? What do you care? So if you are a smart person, take down this video as soon as possible. Understand? Which law stipulates that I am not allowed to post it? Have I offended you? How does it affect you? Have I named anybody? This matter has nothing to do with the law. I tell you, it has influenced some people and has led some people astray. May I ask which department you are from? You don't have to ask me which department I'm from, and it's not for you to ask which department I'm from. Do you understand? I will not tell you which department I am from. I have told you many times about this. You immediately delete this video, understand? Deleting it is fine, but the non-stop phone calls a couple of days ago, was it done by you? Whether it's me or not, you go and figure it out yourself. I told you explicitly, this video must be removed, and we can track you, know where you are, where you live, and how many people are in your household. We know everything. You should be clear, too. I made the call today, and it's an ultimatum. I'm not afraid of you, okay? Just bring it on. You aren't afraid? Then don't cancel the account. Don't delete anything, okay? Fine. I'll see what you'll do to me. Okay, we'll see what happens. The threat this blogger is experiencing is very common in this red country. Keeping people living in fear is an important tool of the CCP to maintain social stability. In order to accomplish this, even the credibility of the government can be discounted. In late September, a city girl in Inner Mongolia posted a message on her Weibo account that she had heard that the city would be locked down on October 2nd. Subsequently, she was summoned by public security authorities and forced to make a video apology.
On September 24th, 2022, I used Weibo to post a comment that I'd heard that planes would skip our city, the city would be locked down on October the 2nd, all of us would start doing nucleic acid tests every day on September 26th, and that we should take a bus to get out of here. I also posted a comment that there were too many people on the National Day, October 1st, for fear of a resurgence of the outbreak, ending up with the city being locked down on the next day. According to the version I heard, we would not have closed the city on these days. The above is not true news. I hope you don't believe in rumors and don't spread rumors. Subject to the government announcement, I apologize to everyone for causing panic in the community because of my illegal behavior.
The fact is that on October 2nd, the city was declared locked down for 3 days. The prolonged closure has left many people in a state of mental collapse. A man in Sichuan province who had been locked up in a worker's dormitory for a long time became so unhinged that he tore down all the furniture in the dormitory and smashed the locked door. The police finally came to his door and arrested him. This is a woman in Shenzhen who seems to have been driven crazy by epidemic control, lying in the water and screaming. This woman, who shouted, "Excessive prevention measures, give me back my freedom," escaped from an unknown residential area and ran on the street, making others think she had gone crazy. After she was captured, she chanted, "Let us out, let us out." It seems she can't see the barricades in her eyes anymore. More and more Chinese people are being pushed into desperation, and they are starting to resist in a limited way. The Shenzhen government has implemented a so-called whitelist system, in which residents on the whitelist are confined within their neighborhoods where stores inside the area are closed and no deliveries are allowed, including food delivery. In this district, the residents who have been locked down many times can't stand it anymore, and they started to march in the community to protest. In this district, there's a large factory, Foxconn, where there is no downtime, but more than 100,000 employees have to take a nucleic acid test daily. Protests against the cancellation of the whitelist have occurred in several districts in Shenzhen, and in some cases, clashes with police have broken out. Xinjiang is arguably the most heavily controlled region by the CCP, with some of the toughest security checks in the world. Xinjiang is also currently in the grip of an outbreak. Amidst all the strict controls, people in Urumqi, the capital of Xinjiang, have begun to call for the removal of security checks, some on their knees, some standing. Today is September 26th, local time in China. Prior to this, on the evening of September 25th, people in Urumqi provided information about a huge clash between the police and the people there, because the place has been under lockdown for more than 50 days with no food or water to drink.
Look downstairs. See? These guys in white. They aren't community members. They're SWAT police. The people here have been broken up. There are still many people protesting loudly in the back of our neighborhood. Look, so many SWAT police.
Amidst humiliation, anger, and illusion, the Chinese people have begun to protest in varying degrees. It also made the ceremony of October 1st, the day when the CCP established its regime in China, less joyful and more chilly than the fall.